gotta pay for. Oh, like it, just a little bit rough. And when you tell me not to ever give up, I'm the only one wanna celebrate, yeah. If you're coming, better keep up at my pace, yeah. 'Cause we only got one life to elevate, yeah. It's a party, whatever we gotta pay for. Elevate, yeah, elevate, yeah. Living life, gotta get a taste of. Elevate, yeah, elevate, yeah. Living life, gotta get a taste of. It's so clean, you know what I mean. All my aces riding with me, darling. I'm styling. A room for presents, room for queens. All vibrations rocking my scenes, sliding.
Let's go, lose control, slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control, slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control, slip and slide on the dance floor. Dance floor, 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 dance floor. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Let's go, lose control, slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control, slip and slide on the dance floor. Let's go, lose control, slip and slide on the dance floor.
The world's best gather here. XBL baseball starts now.
It's crushed to the moon, and we're tied.
He picks it up on the second. Over to first in time for the double play that ends the inning.
That's gone.
Oh my, oh my, oh my.
Trying to repeat.
It's good!
And over to the pen! This game is over!
Oh! Crushed! Left field! Off the pole!
Domingo Bell, deep right center field, carrying, and it's gone.
That was hit hard. Left center field. Did she do it again? To the wall!
Swung on Bell to the deep left field. Is this baby gone? A grand slam!
Champion! The AAA World Series is over. What a live shot!
I can't believe my eyes.
XBL Primetime has two of your favorite casters stepping out of the booth and onto the battlefield tonight for your sheer entertainment by popular demand. On a continued rise from the ashes, the feisty 16-season veteran eyes up a comeback trail. On their way stands one of the most rapid risers the XBL has ever seen in the midst of a rookie campaign with everything to prove. It is Dwyenne and the Motor Sox squaring up with Uni and his Unicorns. Welcome to XBL Match of the Week.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of the XBL's Match of the Week here on the X Platform League's Twitch channel. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm joined in the booth by my castmate, Mystery Man. What up, Mist?
How's it going, Ox? Really great to be announcing here with you. I think we've actually only announced together like once or twice. We did a few, I think, roundups together and quite a few other things. But strangely, it seems like we always end up on the opposite casting. But good to have you in here.
Yeah, it's been a while, brother, but we're back at it. And, we're the two odd men out of the booth tonight in a way because we've got a battle of the booth here between Dwyenne and God's Unicorn, a spicy matchup here this week between two guys really in need of W's, two guys really hunting the W. And as you see our keys to the game here, we got rookie versus the vet. And like we said, battle of the booth. The stakes are really high for these games here.
Yeah, it's now or never for Dwyenne. I mean, this is a guy that in AAA was pretty much written off, made a late run and ended up winning it all. So not exactly a stranger to some late season heroics. And then Unicorn, who I think me mostly, but I think in general people thought could possibly come in here and hang, around the 500 plus mark. If he was really on his game, but had a slow start, has picked it up a bit, which you love to see. That first rookie season in XBL, no matter how much you think you're ready for it, you ain't ready for it. And I think we saw that here with Unicorn, but does have the talent, has put together some wins. Actually has, I think, the same number as Dwyenne, who's been in this league uh, almost consistently for quite a few seasons. Um, you know, look at the other things you got. Rookie versus vet, 92 ego. Neither of these players is really the king of catching up. It's not like we're facing, this isn't Mama June versus Wishbone. This is going to be a little bit different, I think, strategy with the pitching, and both of them are quite streaky with the pitching. What do you think on the pitching side, Ox?
Pitching side, well, I would say the ego does come into effect because both guys, I think, hit the off-speed pitch better than they hit the velo. So it's going to come down to who leaves more of that junky stuff in the zone and who capitalizes on it. One thing that really hurts Unicorn's team is his whole staff has 30 accuracy stat. So look for that tonight. Anytime traits or nervousness comes in and nerfs that accuracy, he's going to have even less. So if Dwyenne can capitalize on that. But we're talking about two guys that are champions, past champions in these leagues. We have Unicorn, who won the AA just 2 seasons ago and has had a similar arc up the ladder as I have myself, going from AA to AAA to XBL, all in a matter of 3 seasons' time. So you got to tip your hat to the progression that Unicorn has shown since he's come into this league and all the passion that he has, and we certainly appreciate the passion and the arc that he's had for this game. But then you have Dwyenne, who is an OG member. He's been around since very early. I think season 1. He's been here since day 1, and he's a Hall of Fame guy. He won the AAA 2 seasons ago, where Unicorn also came close to winning. So we have two guys that have been in that moment and had success, and now they're trying to, it's a gauntlet in the XBL, but both guys have proven they can split anybody. We have 14 playoff spots, so those are still up for the taking. And these guys have been trash talking for weeks about this matchup. Everybody's hyped to see who comes out on top, who comes away with these W's, and season's getting down to the nitty gritty, Miss. So without further ado, we're going to get into these games and see which one of these guys brings it tonight. And And here we go, folks. As we load in, it's going to be God's Unicorn hosting Game 1 at Colonial Plaza, home of the Unicorns. The Metro Motor Sox of Detroit will be going on the road here. And like we said, 2 huge games for these 2 players, looking to climb into that playoff spot, to find any playoff spot. And it looks like we have R.A. Dickey on the mound. He's got some pretty good velo for a knuckleballer.
Yeah, elite changeup could play well here. You know, beautiful night venue here. I'm not a fan of Colonial, we all know, but at night it's actually quite a beautiful stadium, as most of them are. It's a very symmetrical stadium, so you don't really get, wouldn't you say, Ox? Not really a lot of cheapies. There's a couple of short walls on the sides, but not really like, you know, big time cheapies that you might see in a few other parks.
Well, the fence is short, like you said, but you still got to hit it about 360 feet to get one out of Colonial at any part of that outfield. And Dwyenne hits the first ball of the game hard, but a great play by the second baseman, a diving catch and an out. And now the second batter of the game for the Motor Sox smokes one right back up the chute. So we've got 1 on, 1 out here. And Junior Donga with a nice swing there smokes a curveball into the outfield. So now an early start here for the Motor Sox. They've got 2 on and brewing some trouble here.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot of stats on the Motor Sox hitters. I don't know his build exactly, but 2 and 3 look really strong. Fly out here is going to hurt him.
Wow, that ball was charged into left field, but my goodness, Dwyenne getting too aggressive on the base path, trying to get to third base, and makes the third out at third. That's a cardinal rule. You don't want to break in baseball, as very nearly came up with a 3-run homer as he put a charge into that ball, but instead it ends up being a double play for God's Unicorn, and he's got to be thrilled about getting out of that jam pretty cheap.
Yeah, and that was a point that we didn't touch on, Ox. Dwyenne is very aggressive at times, to a fault even, as we saw there, but it can pay off as well.
Yeah, we've certainly seen it pay off. If you were here for his AAA World Series run of greatness, as he went through a gauntlet of great AAA players, and base running was a huge part of his success and of his offensive aggression. As you see, Ella Royds misses way inside against Unicorn, but gets the chase. 2 up, 2 down for Dwyenne on the mound.
Yeah, Unicorn, kind of an interesting hitter. He'll show a lot of patience, but at times will reach for some crazy pitches that you would usually attach to a much less disciplined hitter.
Yeah, as you see, 2 batters in a row did exactly what you were talking about there. Had a couple of good takes, and then almost trying to anticipate Dwyenne's sequencing in a way, just jumps on anything out of the hand there, as back-to-back weak groundouts to end the first inning. And Dwyenne is somebody who's hard to hit against. Unicorn employs a similar strategy on the mound, where they just come right at you there, one pitch after the next. As you see, Unicorn blows away hug and kiss there with up and in heater. Both guys do not give you any time to breathe when you're up to bat. They just come right at you, especially Dwyenne. He will not let you process the next pitch or the previous one, so it's like it can really be hard to get ready as a hitter and then adjust to each pitch. He does a great job of keeping you off balance. And both guys so far doing a pretty good job keeping each other off balance as we get 2 up, 2 down here in the second for God's Unicorn.
Yeah, and they both throw strikes. I mean, I think they both kind of play into each other's hand as far as the offense. I think both of them can hit each other just by virtue of the fact that they tend to throw strikes, and I think both of these players would prefer somebody who tends to throw strikes than somebody who's kind of perhaps similar to myself, who will really bait players a lot, and it can really get you off stride sometimes. But at the same time, if they're hitting their corners, then it gets a lot tougher.
Yeah, when these guys are hitting corners, it's really hard to hit against. As you see another weak contact out here both players, other than that fast start by the Motor Sox in the top of the first, both players have really been mowing down the hitters since. And there's another swing out of the zone. Going to be a soft liner to second base, 2 up, 2 down for Ella Royds, one of the longtime members of this pitching staff of Dwayne's Sox. And she gets a 1-2-3 second inning. So now we'll go to the top of the third pretty quickly here. Not much brewing since that opening frame where Dwayne had 2 on. And now Heidi Ho, the 8 hitter, is going to step in here in the top of the third inning. Looking to get something going. Like you said, both guys, they'll mix in a lot of strikes. They're very aggressive early in the count on the mound and early in the count. And then from there, it's just what can you do with 2 strikes. As you see, Unicorn gets a swing and a miss for strike 3. Nice pitch on the high and away corner.
Yeah, and another thing to watch with Terrain is Terrain can hit with a bad reticle much more than some other people that are probably at his hitting level. You know, like for example, right here, she's got nothing, but later in the game, you might see him put a ball in play that you wouldn't think would probably going to be happening, and can push runs across because of that.
Yeah, don't sleep on Chuck, Dwayne's 2-hole hitter, Chuck Yuppers, the center fielder. He doesn't have a lot in the way of stats, but he's kind of like a Gus Grissom for the Astronauts. He's a pesky hitter that you don't want to sleep on because he can really burn you on the base paths. But Unicorn gets Dwyenne 1-2-3 in the third. Dwyenne picks up right where he left off on the mound with Ella Royds. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the third.
Yeah, both seem to be waiting very, very lightly into this one. Not really the best command in the strike zone so far, but I think they're both veterans. They're going to settle in here.
Both pitchers already locked in due to the dominant starts, as we don't see a lot of hitting so far in these past few frames. A lot of ground balls, a lot of weak contact, and the full court press on the mound. Both guys just being aggressive early in the count, blowing the velo by each other. And here is Yuppers. He's going to try a bunt, but he gets it right out in front of home. Easy play for the catcher. 1 up, 1 down. Here's Junior Donga, who had a great hit earlier in the first inning. This is Dwayne's best hitter, and he smokes another one right back up the middle. Junior Donga 2 for 2, and that's our first hit in some time here as Iggy Freely, the cleanup hitter, steps in.
Yeah, and Train's a momentum player, so even one single can sometimes get him going, especially if he couples that with a stolen bag or 2. But flies out here.
Number 9.
Yeah, one thing about these two mists is they know each other well. They know how to get each other out. And they both, there's a rivalry here. It's despite this being the first time these two have ever met on stage in an XBL match. As you see Dwyenne with a great jump on that one. Junior Donga takes second easily. 3-1 count here to Hug and Kiss. She swings through the 100-mile-an-hour cheddar. Big spot here for Dwyenne. A hit could score a run. That one's hit up back through the middle, but the pitcher knocks it down and makes the play, ends the threat. We go to the bottom of the fourth, still scoreless.
Yeah, I would be careful throwing fastball down the middle to a man. She's been known to tee off on that type of a pitch, but he got away with it.
Yeah, I think it goes without saying you got to be careful throwing a fastball or any pitch down the middle to any hitter in the XBL, unless you're just no name. He does it strategically, but another soft ground out here for Emma Royds, and she is just dominating on the hill, as you see, locked in. A lot of red circle pitches by Dwyenne, a lot of, the fart noise animation you're hearing when he misses his spot, but he's getting him close enough to really keep Unicorn off balance here. Ball's behind 3-0 here, comes back with 2 strikes, and now we're full.
Yep, yeah, and another thing is a nice single here, but both players, I think that velo on both sides is playing big here, because one thing I think you would agree, Hawks, when you're setting up when you throw your velo against, you don't want to bail out these lower XBL players in the standings with mid velo or even low velo. You usually want to come after them with your horses, and always on match of the week, you typically like to set up whoever. It doesn't necessarily have to be high, but whoever you're most comfortable with to put on a good show.
Yeah, I think the velo is definitely challenging for both guys to adjust to here. And like I said, they both tend to feast off the slower stuff. So as you can see, smartly executing a lot of velo, a lot of fast stuff. As Dwyenne fails to hold the runner there, 2 out steal for Unicorn. Now he's in a similar spot as Dwyenne was in the previous half inning. Runner steals second. Now a 2-out hit could score a run, and that's exactly what Uni gets, is a 2-out hit up the middle. Yuppers' throw home is going to be in time.
Yeah,
Unicorn forced the throw there.
I don't think we've seen 5 changeups the entire match so far. Been very few.
A Unicorn frustratingly goes after the first pitch. It's a curveball dribbled to second base, and just like that, the threat is averted. And you can tell this is quite the grudge match we have going here. Both guys just relentlessly pounding the strike zone and coming right at each other. That's going to be chased out of the zone, but it might get down. No, Reyes tracks it down. One away here for R.A. Dictree. Fastball right over the plate to B. Booper, but she swings through it. Now curveball, this is going to be ripped into left field. Dwyenne did not miss that one. I don't know if, yeah, Booper doesn't have the speed, the catcher for the Sox. Despite hitting it all the way to the left field corner and Colonial, she hit it so hard she's not going to be able to get to second base. So just a single for the Sox. That's big, as one key thing to this game is going to be who can get the runners to second base, because getting the guy from first to second is huge for these guys, where not a lot of doubles are being hit. We only see a single sprinkled in. So if you get the guy to second base, a hit can score him. But it's hard to score a run on one hit with a guy on first base. So look for the steal to be a factor tonight, and we'll see who can cash in when they finally get runners in scoring position. Because that's going to be a hit and run, and a great execution there by Dwyenne. It's behind the runner, and now there's 2 on, 2 out. Top of the 5th. Unicorn going to have to work his way out of trouble.
Yeah, and now, like you said, runner on second here. Need a single to push something maybe down the line to push that run in. I don't think we'll see a steal.
Yeah, RBI 0 came into play there as well, which is a tough time for that to come into play on your offense. That ball, the 3rd out, was hit weakly to shortstop, and the threat neutralized as Unicorn hits one hard to third base. We have 1 away here in the 5th, and you can hardly keep up with these guys. The pace of play, they just go one right after the other, and there's the ball dying in shallow center field, but Chuck Yuppers, the star defenseman in center, comes in and makes the grab. 2 out, nobody on here for Emma Roy. She has been cruising. We did see her getting a bit of trouble in the 4th inning. Unicorn did get the runner to second base and got the 2-out hit up the middle, but it was hit too hard to score the run. And Dwyenne worked his way out of the jam. 1, 2, 3 there in the the bottom of the 5th, excuse me. So now we go to the top of the 6th. God's Unicorn with just 2 hits so far in this ball game. And center fielder Yuppers looking to get something started here for the Sox. You do not want this guy on base.
Yeah, and the other thing is, both of these two seem to really be stepping up to the challenge of match of the week. If they had this attention, you can see how hard they're trying here. If they had this attention to detail, I don't think either of their records would be what they are. But when you're under the big lights, you've got to step up, especially as a veteran.
Yeah, you do. As Donga looking to go 3 for 3, but he lines out to Reyes is short. And one thing that's kind of hampering both guys is not the strikes they're missing, but all the times they're going outside the zone, helping the other guy on the mound. It's obviously tough to lay off those breaking fastballs whenever the ones that are in the zone are 100 miles an hour. So it's extremely difficult to, adjust to the heat and then the heat that's moving away or moving into you. So both guys doing a good job of mixing fastball in with cutter and two-seam and really keeping each other off balance here as we're now into the bottom of the 6th. No score still.
Yeah, and we continue to see see. There's the changeup. See, you're bailing them out with a changeup. The fastball is really dominating both players. We have a lot of curveballs, but curveballs you can place pretty well. When you start misplacing changeups, that's when you can get in trouble against anybody. So they've been pretty wise so far to limit that.
Well, as you notice a lot, oh, that one's going to be off the pitcher and then also off Amanda Hugginkiss. She's unable to make the play. I don't think, yeah, the batter runner had very good wheels, so there wasn't going to be a play made there regardless. But double drop by Dwyenne's fielders got her hurt, and now there's 2 on, nobody out on 2 somewhat weak singles by God's Unicorn, and that one skied into right for the first out as Donga makes the grab. Yeah, that's a good point about the curves. We're not seeing hardly any curveballs in the zone. They're almost over. There's a really good pitch by Dwyenne, barely crosses the bottom of the zone, but a lot of the curveballs these guys are biting on are outside the zone. That's a double play ball as Dwyenne got the chase he wanted on the cutter, and to add insult to injury, Unicorn's hitter there pulled a hammy or something running down first base trying to beat out that double play, so he is going to be without his third baseman, Adrian Belsley, injured on the way to first.
Yeah,
it's a huge injury.
That was a huge wiggle out by Dwyenne, because one thing Unicorn is really good at is getting on a ball when he has runners on base. And Dwyenne was smart. He didn't throw him a single strike once he had runners on first and second, and Unicorn bailed him out.
Yeah, I think that's the huge. That is the tug of war. Great hit there by Hugginkiss. She's going to start off the 7th with a leadoff single. That is the tug of war in the XBL. Is can you get out of jams on the mound when runners in scoring position, and when you're at the plate, can you cash in with runners in scoring position? It's the hardest thing to do on both sides of the ball. And so far, the pitchers have been winning all of those battles in this game, as we've seen a couple rallies, each guy get a couple of base runners on, but neither able to cash in with the big hit that drives in the run. As you see Dwyenne there attempted to bunt Hugginkiss over to second. The bunt goes foul for the strikeout, and now Hugginkiss decides to get there herself. Despite having the bad jump straight, she's still second anyway. Both guys pitching so fast they have no hope of holding on any base runners. As B. Booper works at the 3-1, she takes a fastball, works the count to full. Big spot here. Sox could score with the hit. Swung on a miss on the 2-seamer up and in. Unicorn gets Dwyenne swinging for the second out. Heidi Ho with a big spot here. Looking to give her club the lead. Good pitch by Unicorn there. The heater high and away just clips the zone, and there the 2-seam going out of the zone. Hugginkiss takes off again, but it's hit weakly to short for the third out. And again, runner on scoring position, but nothing comes of it as Uni dances his way out of trouble. And now Unicorn going to get a leadoff base runner himself here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, let's see who can show a little bit of discipline. So far, people get on, but then there's no strikes being thrown, and they keep bailing each other out.
Exactly, Miss. That's a common theme here so far, is when guys do, when each player has worked hard enough to start a rally, they are also the ones who end their own rallies by going up outside the zone. And that's a curveball, a charge put into this one by Unicorn. Very dangerous pitch as that one caught the zone and Unicorn was ready for it. He did not miss it, but unfortunately for him, it was just a few steps beyond left fielder's head. And now the cutter inside is going to be chased for another double play ball. Hugginkiss cannot make the transfer in time, but again, a double play ball on a swing outside the zone. Killing these guys, and there's a good jump on the steal by Unicorn. He's going to take second base and once again be a one-base hit away from taking the lead in this game.
Oh, and Royd's a little bit off her game at the moment. Comes up with a huge pitch there, though. Wow.
Yeah, really well-placed curve there. Unicorn did not get the barrel to that one, and it looks like Royd's day will be done. She's locked in, but she is getting tired, losing stats. Dwyenne says no, he's going to leave her in and stay on the mound here in the scoreless game in the 8th inning. And she's going to ground one to Reyes at short. Yeah, I think, you know, she's had a great game, and I don't fault him for keeping her in up to this point, but I think right there, nobody out, 8th inning, you know, she's losing stats. That would have been a good time to try and get a rally started with the pinch hitter.
Yeah, I mean,
Dwayne's-
if it was 2 outs, I don't mind that. But with 0
Right,
out,
right.
you gotta go for something.
2 out, no one on, you might as well let your pitcher hit sometimes, but nobody on, nobody out. Start of an inning. Could have been the start of a rally, but instead it's been 2 up, 2 down here for Unicorn on the mound. Yupper's looking to get something started.
Might see a
Goes up out
bunt
of the
here.
zone.
Might see a surprise bunt here, Ox.
I don't think now with 2 strikes you will, as Yupper's floats one to Reyes at short. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 8th. Still scoreless here. It's one of those grinded out grudge match type of games where the first guy to score is going to win. This is a Dark Raiders special.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is one solo home run. This game's gonna be over.
Or really, even just a bloop hit or any kind of hit like that, when these guys get somebody to second base, it just takes one fortunate bounce or one good swing. And now we're into the nitty gritty. We're in the bottom of the 8th, so really, any run should be enough to win this game. As Unicorn again goes up outside the zone, chases the changeup down. 2 up, 2 down. Droid's still cooking on the mound. God's
Nice
Unicorn
little
smokes one with himself there. The leadoff hitter aboard here with 2 outs. I think we're going to see another steal here soon, Miss.
Yeah, they gotta get creative here. I mean,
Well, that's one thing that's Achilles' heel to this pitching style, where they go as fast as they do, is it makes it very hard to control the running game when you do have base runners on.
yeah.
Great
Nice
play there by Lynn Dwyenne.
Oh,
And
my.
those are the kinds of plays, Miss, I was talking about. You know, obviously Lynn Dwyenne and the Motor Sox have a great defense, but those plays are not a given. If one of those bounces off the glove, that's the kind of play that can win a game like this, where, you know, any crucial play can be the outcome in determining who the winner's going to be.
Yeah, and that's where RNG comes into play too. You know, that's where a bunt or, you know, some funky swinging bunt or something can really earn
Hit
you,
off the pitcher.
hit off the pitcher. You know, you get a little momentum, and she maybe doesn't make that play at second base. The ball rolls into right field. Now the runner's going from second to third, and the wheels come off. So
Exactly.
they need to stay really tight right here on defense.
Unicorn again gets trained to chase that 2-seamer, and 3 outs. We go to the bottom of the 9th now. First pitch swinging, he pops the curve straight up to the catcher. Royds is still out there in the 9th. Just a Herculean effort by both starting pitchers to still be in this game. Both of them have on-fire mojo. How many times do you see that in a game where both starting pitchers are in the 9th inning and both of them are on fire? We've got quite a game here, quite a battle.
I've probably seen that maybe once before, not often. It's really unusual.
I don't think I've ever seen both starting pitchers be on fire mojo in the 9th inning. That's a first for me. And Royds gets another swing and a miss on the fastball. She's still got the juice here in the 9th, but Uni doing a good job working the count here. He's going to get a 2-out walk.
That was a good bait pitch. He didn't go for it.
Yeah, 3-0, no reason to when base runners are hard to come by. And now that's 5-6 pitches in a row. Royds has missed the zone. Finds it with the curveball there. Now 2-1. Uni could be sitting on a fastball here, and he was. He just missed it there.
Right through it.
And now chases the cutter in. So we go 2-2, 2 outs. And on first, this could go anywhere.
Uh-oh.
It goes over the middle, and Uni didn't miss it there as he hits that back through the middle. And now we have 2 on, 2 out here. A base hit could end this game. Royds is going to stay in. Dwyenne opting not to go to the bullpen. He's trying to find that corner with the curveball. He misses again, just barely.
Ooh, caught. Wow.
Yeah, some of these red circle pitches, you don't know where they're going to end up. And Dwyenne with an excellent pitch there with the curveball, and he's going to get the ground ball to Hug and Kiss to end the threat and dance his way out of trouble yet again. So neither guy able to find a run here in regulation. Miss. We're going to overtime. Extra innings. Now it's really a Dark Raider special of the ball game.
Yeah, and Brain did a really good job there. Just not, he just wasn't going to give in. And eventually, Unicorn swing at something that he shouldn't have.
I think that's where both these guys got to take the next step in their game on offense, is to just not give in when the pitcher won't give in. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's a really hard thing to do, but you just can't expand the zone when the guy's not proving to you that he can hit spots and he can come in the zone in these big counts. Is that cutter runs in on the hands of Dwyenne. He put a good swing on it, but the second baseman for the Unicorns leaps and makes the grab. And I thought Ella Royds was coming out of this game, Miss, but she's going to stay here in the 10th.
Oh yeah, he's not going to pull her until at least we see a runner on.
I'm of the same school here, where if it ain't broke, you don't fix it. And despite the dwindling stats for Royds, she's continued to lower her ERA each inning here, as she's not on fire anymore, but she is locked in. And Uni goes down fishing for one in the dirt.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame we don't have This Is Eduardo in the chat here. He would be in absolute heaven here, seeing these pitchers doing what they're doing here.
Way past that guy's bedtime, as Royd's still in this game. Uni finally is the first one to budge on the battle of the starting pitchers, as he does elect to pinch hit for his starter, R.A. So R.A. Dickey going to exit this game, and another 3-up, 3-down inning for Emma Royds. She just absolutely cruised through this ball game. She's gone 10 complete shutout innings. That is a Roy Halladay type outing right there.
That's crazy. Really good pitching.
This is a classic grudge match of the week style, where both guys know each other's weakness and they just continue to relentlessly exploit those weaknesses. As that was a great swing by Dwyenne there, but the ball hung up just long enough for Unicorn's left fielder to make the sliding catch. 1 up, 1 down for the reliever, first reliever of this ball game in the 11th inning. That's got to be another XBL first. Neither player used a reliever in this game until the 11th inning. That's
insane.
Another 1-2-3 inning. So now we go to the bottom of the 11th.
I don't know what's going to break the tide here. I think you're going for a solo shot. I would give that to Dwyenne. I mean, we've seen New Jazz do that so many times.
I don't think it's going to come down to that. Here's my prediction, Miss. We're going to see some trickery, some tomfoolery, as that's going to be a double in the gap, our first double in ages, as that was a great swing by Unicorn. Lifts it into the alley in left center. But back to my prediction, I think it's going to be like a ricochet off the pitcher, or like, an RBI ground out on a double play ball. It's going to be something real grindy, real sweaty way of just scraping that one and only run across for one of these two guys. I mean, one's all you need to win this game.
Yeah, and as we know, Dwyenne is the king of stealing home. So that could come into play. So that's a problem there.
Yeah, there's a base hit here with runners at the corners. Unicorn putting something together here. He is one base hit away from winning this game, but that's a double play ball. Hit right to Hug and Kiss. Linguini turns it, and we're going to 12. Oh, wow. Uni was a sac fly or a base hit away from winning this game in 11 innings. Yeah, and again, Dwyenne danced his way out of trouble.
He got lucky. Unicorn just wanted to put bat on the ball there, which he was able to do. And but at the same time, if that's all you're looking to do, you might hit into a double play, which you did.
Right, and just hit into one when he absolutely could not afford to hit one. And Hug and Kiss was waiting there with open arms to turn it with Linguini. And we're on to the 12th now, still scoreless.
I still think
one's smoked.
I still think Dwyenne is looking for that brutal tank shot. I know the RNG says it's impossible, but I can see
Both of
him
them-
going yard here.
Both of them have that long ball potential in them. They're both, you know, either guy would love to get a hold of a
Oh
home run here.
no!
As Uni holds one just long enough there to catch
My.
Dwyenne. Dwyenne had an itch. He just had to scratch trying to steal second, and Uni sniffed it out. And that hurts even worse, miss, when you get a base hit with the guy right after you're picked off. As instead of 2 out and 1 on, he has 2 out and a guy on first.
Yep, yeah, but at this point you have to say, hey, I got a player on first. Let's go.
Right. And that one skied into shallow center field. On to the bottom of the 12th as both guys continue to dance their way out of jams on the mound. Mr. Clean here on the mound for the Sox. He picks up right where Royd's left off.
Yeah, an absolute classic Sox reliever here, and a really tough one, Mr. Clean.
I've been through my fair share of just grinded out games in the XBL, especially on Match of the Week. It's a lot harder to hit and be at your best in Match of the Week when you know all eyes are on you. You know it's the big ticket on the weekly matchup, and that one was 5 feet out of the zone. Dwyenne got him fishing for the strikeout, and we go on to the 13th, miss. We got us a marathon.
Yeah, and this is a case where that velo of Mr. Clean and now the junk here of this pitcher, it becomes impossible with the RNG and with just the weight of not putting a run up.
Yes, and the weight of just you know, feeling like it's got to be hard for these guys to pick up when it's a 4-seam and when it's a 2-seam, when it's a cutter, because like Unicorn, he's been getting Dwyenne to chase that 2-seamer all game long. But when it is in the zone, Dwyenne is ready for it. So you got to be careful. He's going to leave Mr. Clean in here. Tries to get the bunt down. Good steal. He timed it perfectly.
Big.
Yeah, that is big. Don't need to bunt when you can steal. So now, made a hit away from taking the lead. Oh my goodness, Mr. Clean. It looked like Mr. Clean might squeak one up through the middle there. But the pitcher, Felix Hernandez, just snags it. That cut her way out of the zone. Swung on, missed. Now
Yeah.
4-seamer in the zone.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
another thing, Ox, was if that ball went through, it might have been an out. But what happens if the pitcher bats the ball? That's where you get screwed.
Right, and those are the kind of plays. I think this game's going to be decided by a crucial 50-50 play like that, where the pitcher kicks one, you know, maybe a dive on a weakly hit ball, or, you know, a ground ball that might sneak through a dive a fielder should make. They don't make it, and then all of a sudden a run comes across as a result of those kind of plays. I think that's how this game is going to end. It's just been such a brutal, you know, both guys having such a brutal time of finding the barrel that I don't know if a home run or an extra base hit is going to ever happen in this one. You know, each pitcher living in the other guy's head.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, Ox, because in the Double-A that you weren't around for, but in the Double-A earlier today, they were really struggling at the plate. But we saw 5 or 6 balls go to deep warning track. And this game is kind of the opposite. I don't know that anything has even touched the warning track.
Dwyenne hit one out there on the double play in the top of the first where he got hung up. He got caught at third on that deep ball to left field. That's about the only one we've seen have a chance of leaving the yard here. And yeah, you're right. It's been a battle of the who can get one out of the infield successfully. As Yuppers fouls one out there, and I think the first guy to really start getting deeper into counts. Oh my gosh, Junior Donga. He got a hold of that one.
Oh, it's gone.
Junior Donga, if anybody on the Sox was going to hit it, it was going to be that guy. 6 home runs on the season, and none of them bigger than that one here in the top of the 14th. What a huge shot in the arm for the Sox as they finally strike pay dirt and find their first run here in the 14th inning. Not done yet, though. Dwyenne looking for more here with 2 outs, trying to get something going. Missed. If you had to put money on a Motor Sox hitting a home run in this game, mine would have been on Junior Donga. What about you?
Yeah, I think I said Hugh Jazz earlier. I'm not sure Hugh Jazz is on this team anymore. Maybe he is, but Donga also. Okay, so Donga, that's the guy. And sure enough, Rain will sneak a home run in there when you least expect it. And now Unicorn is really on the hot seat.
Yeah, now all of a sudden the pressure to score a run just doubled or tripled or even increased tenfold, as now there's 2 out, no one on. Dwyenne 1 out away from getting a 14-inning shutout here and a huge win. Both these guys trying to grind for that playoff hunt, and Dwyenne,
wow,
with a big solo home run from Junior Donga in the top of the 14th and a 1-2-3 inning in the bottom of the 14th. He only needed 2 pitchers. Each guy only used 2 pitchers, as both starters went 10 innings of shutout baseball. What a game missed.
Yeah, and we both knew they were streaky pitchers, and you know what? Match of the week brought out the best of both of these players on the mound. Obviously, at the plate, it brought out the worst of them, but that's not unusual. You've been there. I've been there on match of the week where you get lost at the plate, and with all the bright lights on, it becomes that much harder to find it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just one of those games where it's honestly, once you get to about 6th or the 7th and you haven't scored and you're not making a lot of good contact, those start to get miserable to try to play through, as you feel like you can't get anything going. It's hard to steal any momentum. It's hard to get, any kind of like positive vibes going. But it became a battle of will who could just endure the longest until something finally went their way or they connected with one. And Dwyenne wins the battle of wills as he gets a much needed win for his Motor Sox. And now we'll see if God's Unicorn can avoid a sweep here on Match of the Week. A sweep for either of these guys would be crucial to their playoff hopes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here with Game 2. Welcome back as we load in here for Game 2. We're loading up Swagger Center, the new home of the Motor Sox, as Dwyenne picks up his 7th win on the season. That's big time for the Sox and their playoff hopes. Uni looking to avenge that loss here in Game 1 with the Game 2 split. It's going to be Faye Tamale Dwyenne's number 4 on the mound.
Yeah, interesting. So we're going from basically velo to a nice accuracy, but not really any jump or velo from Tamale.
She gave me fits when I faced Fate Tamale for whatever reason. She's a trickster up there, and
yeah,
we do see Unicorn start off with a hit here after the first man gets out. I do have to call out Unicorn real quick, miss. I'm going to have to call you out here, Unicorn. I think it's pretty Bush League to not put any effort into your uniform design at all. This guy wears whites on the road and at home. He wears the exact same uniform every game. And, I mean, where's the variety, man? At least wear some grays. I mean, those might be gray. It might be an SMB thing, but to me it looks like he's wearing grays or whites on the road and at home. There's just no variety in the threads there for this Unicorn club. Kind of boring.
It looks a little better now that the player's facing with kind of the dark stripe there, but I don't understand why the pants aren't dark. But anyway.
Yeah, we need some road jerseys for these unicorns if they want to be taken seriously, but that one smoked up to the middle infield. It's going to be another double play ball. Unicorn, those have been a thorn in his side. The double play ball has ruined just about every rally he's been able to muster together, as Dwyenne, again, doing a great job dancing his way out of trouble.
Yeah, and this is the lighting. This, in my opinion, this is the worst batter's eye in SMB4. His swagger center under this condition with the shadow and with the bright. Certain arm angles aren't as bad as others. I tell you, if there's a right-hander coming from mid or sub, you can't see the ball. Or left-handed sub, you can't see the ball at all, coming right off of the shadow. In this case, you've got a pitcher coming over the top, so you have a pretty good look. But this stadium is a challenge. It's a really wonderful stadium. Other than this setting, it can be a little bit awkward.
Yeah, that's a good point. Aesthetically, Swagger is a beautiful, beautiful park, but as you see Dwyenne top the curveball there after the walk to Junior Donga. That is one good point about SMB4 is the shadows here at Swagger. Much more of a factor than they've ever been in previous games, I think. And here in Viejo are two of the toughest to deal with the shadows and the lighting of the park and whatever setting of day you end up getting. It can definitely play a factor. And as you see this day game, there is a shadow over about half the field, the other half in the shade. That one's charged into left field. Curveball smoked deep to left field. But yeah, Dawson tracks it down.
I thought that was over his head at least. I guess not.
Off the bat, man, that looked like Dawson was going to be going for a hike to get that one, and that one smoked. That is the no-doubter missed.
Yeah, Uni showing a little bit of prowess at the plate all of a sudden. Seeming to, we both said they're more low velo junk hitters than just straight velo. Unicorn number 4 good at the plate all of a sudden.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard
one
for
run though.
It's a lot more than he scored in the last 14 innings, but so he'll certainly take the solo home run, as that's a big start for this Unicorn offense, jumping out in front here early in game 2.
Yeah, and so he's coming with low velo also, but a lot of junk here on was Lincecum, now it's Lincnut, but Wicked Arsenal.
Yeah, Wicked Arsenal, Wicked Junk, but not a lot of accuracy, and we have seen that can be an Achilles heel for this Unicorn pitching staff. But Amanda Hugenkiss doing a good job with all that junk. She smokes a single into the outfield. Leadoff man aboard. And that one's going to fall, I think, as well. Does it hang up long enough? No.
I think he could have dove.
Didn't need to dive because the ball being so close to the fielder and hanging in the air so long, it kind of screwed the runner out of knowing what to do, and Unicorn able to get the force at second despite it being a base hit. And now we see the double play ball, and Unicorn just one pitch later starts off his third inning with the base hit. So I think you're right, Mist. Unicorn is seeing the ball off this low velo pitcher much, much better than he was off of Emeroids in game 1, where the velo was just too much for him to handle.
Yeah, and I think the difference, Ox, is that he's able to lay off pitches off the plate with these slower pitchers, whereas we saw him chasing massively against the monsters.
Yeah, we saw both guys chase a lot out of the zone in game 1, but Dwyenne missing over the middle here. Yeah, he missing over the plate a lot here early in game 2 as Unicorn is not missing those balls over the middle. He smokes that one into the gap, and now 2 runs come across for the Unicorn offense. Early here in game 2, looking like a whole different offense at the plate.
Oh,
that one's ripped into left field, and it's going to be another hit for Unicorn and another run.
Wow, 3-0. Good start here.
Number 47.
Yeah, these changeups and curveballs in the zone have just been hammered, and that one's given a drive deep to left field. It's going to die just short of the wall, though.
Yeah.
As now we see even fastballs he's putting a charge into.
Yeah. Dwayne's going to have to really, shorten the leash on Tamale if we keep seeing this out of Kuhn.
Does get the chase on the changeup there and finally ends the third. But not before Unicorn was able to muster 2 big runs. And now all of a sudden it's 3-0 here in the bottom of the third. And the Unicorn's off to a hot start in game 2.
You bet that's a strike.
Quickly ahead 0-2 for Linsnut. And a 3-pitch strikeout. And as Unicorn, missed 3 runs, that's going to put a lot of pressure on Dwyenne to try to get back in this game as he lines one out to the second baseman. The later you get in a game down 3-4 runs, it starts to get really hard to get any momentum going.
Yeah, and the last thing Uni wants to do is bail him out with pitches over the plate. That's what he did there. Got away with it, but believe me, Dwyenne can hit pitches over the plate.
We've seen both these guys put some charge into balls that are right over the plate, and that was one thing that worked so well for both guys on the mound in game 1 was not giving in, not throwing very much stuff over the plate, and just relying on the other guy to expand the zone. But Dwyenne, this pitcher doesn't have the velo to really command that kind of respect or get those kind of swings out of the zone. So Uni doing a much better job hitting off this starting pitcher. Great spot there by Dwyenne. Well located fastball for the strikeout.
Oh, bad placement.
Oh, what a play by Junior Donga.
Oh my
Junior
God.
Donga doing it on both sides of the ball here tonight on Match of the Week. He had a game-winning home run in game 1. And he had a great catch there, full extension. I did not think he had a chance. That one missed. Just a perfect dive there by Dwyenne and Junior Donga.
Yeah.
What's that one?
We might have to have a talk with that second base. Oh, but it looks like a trap to me, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt for now until we, get a replay after the ball game.
No, I got a good look at it, man. Junior, he kept his glove underneath the ball the whole time. That was no doubt about it. He came up showing the ball to the umpire. He said, look, I got it.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah, he's definitely the leader of this Motor Sox club, both in the clubhouse and on the field. You see the stat attributes for Junior Donga, the most expensive player, one of the most expensive players in all the XBL. And Unicorn, God's Unicorn with his own player.
Number 56.
One-ups Junior Donga with a great defensive play of his own and takes away a double from Dwyenne. So a little bit of gamesmanship by these guys, both making extraordinary catches in the gap off would have been extra base hits.
Yeah, and you know what the good thing is for the Sox right now, Ox, is that he's playing with some house money coming up with that big win in game 1. So even though he's down 3, there's no reason to get down here. He's got a low velo pitcher to work with. Just needs to get through a couple innings and just start getting some runners on base.
Well, for me, Miss, the 4th and 5th inning, the second, third time through the order is if I got a starting pitcher that I don't really feel comfortable with, and the other guy's putting the bat on the ball, 5th inning to me is like that's yankum time. You know, the leash has got to be short. You know, we saw Mr. Clean have a dominant game 1. You got to eventually turn to your bullpen arms when the starter's not getting it done.
Yeah, good point, Ox. Even if everything looks good, you know, in the XBL, you've got 4 pitchers sitting there in the pen that are all fresh.
Right. Oh, that's going to be a nut shot. As Dwyenne hits one right back up the chute, and it got Linsnut in his Linsnut.
Yeah, that's big, rattled. And he's going to pitch him. I would get him out of there.
Yeah, we saw the dominant reliever from Unicorn with the high velo, high jump. But he is instead going to roll the dice with an injured, rattled pitcher who went from locked in to rattled off the nut shot and stays in and gets a strikeout.
Wow.
Uni coming right at Dwyenne here with the nerfed stat pitcher.
Yeah, he might be a little too brave, a little braver than he ought to be here. So far getting away with it.
That one's going to hang up long enough for Unicorn to catch it in center field and end the inning, despite Dwyenne assassinating the testicles of Unicorn's starting pitcher. You know, Dwyenne actually got to be having flashbacks of his nightmare grudge match against Pseudo, where Dwyenne took out the starting pitcher early, I think the first inning of that game, injured Pseudo's starting pitcher, and Pseudo went on to throw a complete game shutout with an injured starting pitcher. So maybe Unicorn playing some mental battles, playing a little psychological warfare, knowing that Dwyenne went through that early in the season, maybe trying to see if Lightning can strike twice with an injured starting pitcher.
Well, we haven't seen much out of the Sox in this one, so I suppose it's possible.
You bet that's a strike.
It's going to be over the head of Linguini at second, and now 2 on here in the 6th. I'm telling you, Miss, this has got to be
Number 21.
you got to pull Tamale here. Her stats are dwindling. Dwyenne trying to get all he can. I think her spot is coming up in the order. But now we have 2 out, 2 on Uni. And Dwyenne dances his way out of trouble one more time with Tamale. Another hit in the gap here could really put it out of reach. But Faye Tamale does get the 3rd out, does dance her way out of trouble. And I think here in the bottom of the 6th, Dwyenne, now it's time to lift her, as he expertly navigated the waters there. It's very tricky in the middle of the game when you're trying to manage your staff. Do I yank them? Do I leave them in? Their spots coming up.
Yeah, and I think from our perspective, she was really struggling. But if we're being honest, she had a pretty decent. I mean, it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, in the end of the day, it was a great outing.
It's just,
Oh.
the runs have been so hard to come by. You know, 1 or 2 runs, you start to panic.
You got to feel frustrated at that one. Dwyenne squared the ball up really good there and got, you know, the blue contact effect where means you really hit the barrel. And somehow the rattled pitcher with no fielding knocks it down and gets the out instead of Dwyenne having 2 on, nobody out here. He's got 1 on, 1 out. Chuck Yepers. Chuck puts a blast into this one. This is deep to right field, but it doesn't have the juice. And Dwyenne going to try again for 3rd. We saw this in game 1 where he was thrown out at 3rd there in that spot. He makes it safely here, and now here's Junior Donga, and Unicorn wastes no time and eventually walked into Junior. Yeah, he just brought the tying run to the plate.
Yeah, I don't quite get that.
That's a strike.
Perhaps not really very well thought
That's
out,
a strike
but
and a half, my friend.
a couple good pitches. Oh, and he chased.
Stayed
Hit him
with the cutter away.
3 times in a row. Oh, brutal.
That's good pitching there by Unicorn. Dances his way out of trouble, and now we finally see the injured starting pitcher. He's going to get a big round of applause from his teammates, sticking it out through that injury and still giving his team 2-3 more innings of shutout baseball. We see Unicorn get on another
Maybe even a
curveball
triple.
here. He has really hit that curveball well in this game. And that's going to be a leadoff double.
Now batting, the center fielder.
We're seeing a lot more hard hit balls by that Unicorn offense here in game number 2.
Yeah, Unicorn seems like a different hitter in this one. Really struggled, but seems to be finding his way a bit.
That's one thing I got to give Uni credit for, and oh, that's a nightmare for Dwyenne, is he tried to lift the runner back and then didn't have enough time to get the batter runner at first, and everybody's safe.
Wow, that's a nightmare with no outs.
Yeah, now Spray Kruger in a ton of trouble here. Got away with a curveball over the middle there. One thing Unicorn has shown prowess in this season in the XBL is always going to hit another double play. Oh, the runner's hot up.
What?
Oh,
What is
just
safe?
got in time. That could have been a double play 3 different ways, missed. The Unicorn got out of it with only 1 out. That's got to be frustrating for Dwyenne. And now a curveball misses right over the middle, and Unicorn puts it in the seats. Oh,
no.
it stays in
Off
here.
the high wall. Nonetheless, a run.
Enough. He
Oh,
goes
no.
back.
Oh my goodness.
What is
That
going
came up
on
with
here?
nothing. Wow.
Number 47,
This has been one wild inning so far.
third baseman.
I thought for sure that ball was out of the gonna reach the
I think
seats.
they're intentionally trying to lose the announcers at this point. Nobody knows what they're doing.
One thing we have seen God's Unicorn do in the XBL so far this season is his game 2s of a set have been much stronger than his game 1 performances. He's beaten a lot of good players in game 2. Oh, that looked like it could have been the double play to get Dwyenne out of trouble, but Amanda Hugging Kiss does not come up with it.
Number 5.
And instead it's going to be an RBI single for Unicorn. Now the double play ball hit the Linguini, and Dwyenne gets out of the jam, but not before 2 more runs come across here in the 7th. And the Sox looking at a 5-0 deficit as we reach the final third of this game 2 ball game.
Yeah, 5 is absolutely enormous right now. A couple of base runners would fight into that quite a bit, but right now that's just absolutely ominous.
Yeah, it's got to be frustrating for Dwyenne. He was not able to get any runs across despite that nerfed starting pitcher and the injury, and even before that, just not able to get a lot going against Tim Linsnut. And now we've got Felix Hername, Jeff, with a lot of velo and a lot of junk in. Someone we saw Dwyenne struggle with in game 1. He's trying to slam the door, and he hits a 1-2-3 scoreless 7th.
The right fielder.
Unicorn just
Number
8 outs
21.
away here from securing the split. But he's not done hitting yet, Miss. We've seen a lot of hits out of this Unicorn offense.
Now batting, the
Yeah,
second
it's
baseman,
amazing how much the
number 4.
unicorns have come to life here. As soon as the velo dropped down a bit, but that's what we said in the beginning, right? Very much an
The
off-speed,
pitcher, number 45.
a very cagey hitter, but can struggle at times with big velo. He's forced to guess a lot, and that's where we see people expand the zone. I mean, he's certainly not alone in that regard.
Now batting, the center fielder, number 14.
Another double play ball induced by Dwyenne, but another time here in this ball game where Unicorn's runner beats it out at first. And that's really tough when you're trying to get out of trouble and the guy beats out in real life, that's one thing I have a problem with in this game. In real life, that's a double play all day, as is this one. But they're not going to turn it because the double play animation takes far too long. There's no urgency by the fielders to turn the double play. And we see oftentimes balls that should be double plays get beat out at first base. And now Dwyenne in a situation where Unicorn is just hitting gap after gap.
Raking.
He is just popping off here in game 2.
Yeah, going back to your point there, yeah, we've seen it take 6 weeks at times for the second base person to turn a double play, which is just unacceptable. But you know, you have to live with it. It's just a piece of the game that seems funky. But you know, they've done so many things well that you just kind of have to say, you have to roll your eyes and say, okay, it is what it is.
Yeah, it's one thing I've complained about for a lot of years now, but doesn't seem to have gotten any better. Dwyenne trying to get something going. There's huge as miss. He didn't get cut. He just kind of got demoted to a bench role. But we do see the Sox legend huge as here.
Oh, okay,
Pinch
pinch perfect.
perfect.
Now that's a good role for him actually. Maybe aging a little bit.
Swung on and missed though. The velo from
Wild.
Fields was too much. That one lifted the left field. Gonna be the second out, and Felix brings more gas. The runner's gonna be hung out to dry on that hit and run. As he's cut down, and we go to the ninth. Unicorn in firm command of this one. Adrian Belsa, who we saw get hurt running to first base in game one, back with a vengeance here in game two. He starts off the ninth inning with another hit in what has been an offensive onslaught for God's Unicorn. And despite all the good hitting by God's Unicorn, we've also seen him hitting quite a few double plays. Mr. Clean, you know, Mist, I wonder why Dwyenne didn't go to Mr. Clean first out of the pen in this one. You know, if he doesn't get any runs, it doesn't really matter in the long run as far as getting back into this game. But perhaps Mr. Clean could have kept this to just a 3-run game when Faye Tamale exited. But instead we saw Spray, who gave up a lot of runs to this Unicorn offense just for whatever reason. You know, he saw the ball better. Mr. Clean gets out of it here in the ninth, and we go to the last half inning. Chuck Yepper's going to start it off for the Motor Sox. Felix her name, Jeff, just pumping in the velo. Yepper's though with a good two-strike swing there as he's going to get on base.
Yeah, and we got to give Unicorn a ton of credit. This guy was in Double A. It feels like what, 6 months ago?
Yeah,
Something like that.
I mentioned before the game he's risen each league each season here in 3 consecutive seasons.
Yeah, he eliminated me in the playoffs of AAA last season in 3-1 affair. But just to move up that quickly and actually be putting some wins on the board. Now, it's not a ton of wins, but it's a pretty good handful of wins when you really look at it. And his season still has a long way to go, so for sure not out of the playoffs. A split here is not too bad for Unicorn, and it was a good night of baseball.
Yeah, it was a huge split there for God's Unicorn. We saw a much better effort and a much better bat out of him in game two. And you know, Miss, one of the reasons why it was kind of surprising for me personally to see Unicorn have such a good game two is he was so obviously tilted in game one. I mean, Dwyenne was living rent-free in Unicorn's head all through game one, especially, you know, putting a capitalization mark on it with the Junior Dongley extra innings home run. You know, I know me personally, when I'm tilted in game one, when I'm frustrated after a game like that, the last thing I'm going to do in game two is come out and put up an 8 spot and get the split. Like I'm mentally not good enough to bounce back like that. And I got to tip my cap because a guy who was clearly tilted game one got shut out for 14 straight innings, busts out an 8 spot in game two and gets a split. So that's pretty impressive out of a rookie. And, you know, honestly, it's good to see both guys needed W's tonight. They both picked up one each. So both still right there in this playoff race, and good games by both guys.
Yeah, you got to give Dwayne credit in game one. I hate to say it, but I called it. He came up with the big power hit, which we know he's capable of. It doesn't matter that Dwayne looks like crap for 3 innings or 8 innings. He can pop off and start hitting home runs, and that's what actually ended up ending that game. But then, like you said, let's give Unicorn credit here. This is a guy moving up very quickly and still being able to play with some of these grizzled veterans like Dwayne, like, No Name, Dark Raider, and at least put in a good fight. It's awful tough to play against Mama and Lazy and Wishbone at this point, but there's a lot of players in XBL that Unicorn has been competitive with. Um, and I think by next season, I kind of predicted perhaps a little bit irrationally that he might go over 500 this season. Um, but by next season, I would think he would at least be in the mix for 500. A lot of it depends on the field, but he's a very good player when he really focuses in.
Both these guys are, and as we saw, the savviness of both guys all night on display as they really, had a good feel for each other. I hope they had a lot of fun in the set, and they've been hyping up this matchup for weeks, so it's good to see them finally here on the prime time stage, show their skills and see what they got, see which trash talker was going to come ahead victorious. In the end, they both they get the split, we get the stalemate, and both guys get a W. So it was fun here calling this one with you, Mist, and this has been another edition of XBL Match of the Week. We thank you for joining us. We'll have a roundup coming here soon. I don't know if it'll be this week or next, but stay on the lookout for the roundup. And Mist, it was a lot of fun, man. You got any parting words for us?
Yeah, I do. I think it's kind of what I think I said in the general, or maybe I said it last week, but Flash is going to be looking at this matchup, and he's already going to be booking next season. It's going to be Dwayne Train versus Unicorn. And it's going to be another war, I think.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Flash versus Unicorn match of the week.
Yeah, did Flash, I don't think Flash is playing match of the week. He's not really a
He
big
does.
match. I think he played last season, but very unusual. He waits for the playoffs to show his
Played
face.
Lazy last season on match of the week, but
Lazy, yeah. Well, he'll show up for Lazy, but I don't know if he's going to show up for Unicorn or Dwayne or these other guys. Certainly wouldn't show up for me if I ever did move up. But yeah, that was a really fun night, Ox. I'm really happy to have you able to join me here. It was a lot of fun, and I knew these two were going to be a good matchup. They're both really extremely confident. Um, they're both also extremely streaky though, and that's why you just have to assume split just out of the pure fact that you don't know what's going to happen.
yeah. I mean, both guys obviously wanted the sweep, but I'm sure they'll take a split over getting swept, as we all would. But yeah, hey, congrats to you as well, Miss. Shout out to you. You just took over the career AAA home run record in the record books of the XBL. So big congrats to you, my man. I just want to shout out Dwayne for producing tonight. My fellow casters, we got to shout out Urban, the newly inducted Hall of Fame member, for all the great promos he does for us. Shout out to Unicorn and his homie for putting together a great new trailer for the channel. And just shout out to all of you guys for watching, for all the passion you bring to the league. Like I said, stay out on the lookout for that roundup. And if we don't see you on the roundup, we'll see you again next weekend for another big edition of Match of the Week. Get those games in and good luck on the field, everybody. We'll see you next time. For Mystery Man, I'm Oxbox. See you later.